7 weeks ago, I admitted that I couldn't handle the 5K training plan in this book. And this week, I decided to try it again. By the end of the week, I had one run that suggested that I definitely wasn't ready, and another one that suggested that I was. So now I'm sitting here looking at my data and wondering which of those runs accurately represents my current fitness. Hey, buddy.
I definitely thought I'd get further up it than that. I got less far up at that time. Yeah, just like all quad. I just did 6 by 12 second hill repeats. It felt awful. Couldn't get my legs under me fast enough, but that matters because the 5K starts on a hill, so getting it done. I just finished 6 by 100 meter strides, straight off the back of the 6 by 12 second hills. The first couple of my right Achilles it's pretty tight, so I didn't go really hard, but then for the last 4 it opened up and I'm pretty happy with how I did.
Last week I only ran 2 threshold runs. Is it raining? I want to go for a run today. It just rains every day and the weather network is always wrong. Anyway, last week I only ran twice and both runs were threshold sessions and I surrounded both with strength sessions. So this week, in trying to start this training plan again, has nothing to do with proving that I can run hard runs, because I definitely know that I'm more than capable of putting myself through a sufferfest. What I need to understand this week is whether I can distribute the stress well enough so I can complete the full training week. It's Wednesday. So far this week is going really well. I had a strength session yesterday, which I didn't think I was going to get to do because I thought that my legs were going to be too sore from Monday's hills and strides, but it went quite well. I kept my weights light. Today I have a nice and simple 5K endurance run. I think my upper heart rate will be about 156 for that, so I'm really looking forward to just a nice, relaxy base run. Yay! Okay, 5K done in 40:23, which I was hoping to do 40 minutes, but 23 seconds is fine. It felt like my fueling was a little bit off. It was very, very hot outside, hence my glasses are fogging up. I got a 40:23 on my 5K in my zone 2, which I was really happy with. And then I remembered that I set a goal to do a 30-minute zone 2 by time of 47. So I have about 11 and a half months to get that down by 10 minutes and 23 seconds. But I have faith, I'm really optimistic. I think that's one of the things that being really sick taught me, is to just be really grateful and really optimistic for what we can do. So the fact that I can even do a 40:23 in my zone 2 is worth celebrating. And I will get to that 30 minutes. And even if it isn't by the time I'm 47, maybe it'll be by the time I'm 50. But either way, gonna get there. So in Garmin, this run looks like a very normal, easy run. 5 kilometers at 8:06 per kilometer. But my average heart rate was 155 beats per minute. And it climbed from 144 in the first kilometer to 164 in the 5th kilometer. It was also about 35 degrees and the humidity had a factor of awful. So even though the pace looked easy, this run physiologically cost me far more than I expected it to, which is a useful reminder that pace alone doesn't tell us how hard a run actually was. It was a brutal run, 37 degrees out. I did not succeed. I didn't take the camera because I knew 37 degrees is too hot to film. Wasn't smart enough to realize that 37 degrees is too hot for me to run at. And now I get a rest day tomorrow, so very excited for that. Okay, good, lesson learned. First glance, when I take a look at Friday's data, and definitely want to remember what was going through my head as I finished the second or third interval, it really didn't go well for me. But when I start to dig into the data, it actually tells a little bit more of a richer story than that. So my first 3 kilometer reps in terms of pace went from 6:15 to 6:25 to 6:41 per kilometer. As expected, at the same time, my power fell from 250 watts to 242 down to 228. So my output was clearly deteriorating. But I'd also done more than an hour of lower body focused strength work that morning in an epically terrible scheduling move. And it was 37 degrees, which if you've never experienced 37 degrees on a humid day, is horrible. So yeah, my output deteriorated. Yes, I didn't finish the run, but not finishing the run wasn't my mistake. Not finishing the run was actually possibly the best thing I did this week, because it proves that I am now making smarter decisions in my training. Starting this workout as scheduled under circumstances that were, I would say, pretty close to 100% likely to cause me to fail the workout, that was my biggest mistake this week. So we chalk Friday up to a programming error, and we move on to Sunday to see just how well I can handle this training plan, especially after pushing far too hard on a very hot day on Friday. If you want to see whether I can actually survive this plan all the way to race day, subscribe and find out. We've got 6 weeks to get there. Sunday, heading out for my long run. I have 12 kilometers on the schedule. We shall see if it will be 10 or 12. Be a game time decision.
I'm purposely keeping this at an 8 kilometer so that hopefully I don't die. I'm just going to 8 kilometer all the way and then maybe pick up some speed, but I doubt it. 8 kilometer all the way. 8 kilometer, 8 minute. 8 minute kilometer all the way for 10 more kilometers. Kilometer 3, 7:55. Still feeling good. Heart rate 144. I slowed down a lot on this one because there's a hill and I didn't want my heart rate to go up. But that's cool. The rule is nothing faster than a 750. It was 8, but I already went over that. So. 4 kilometers done. 8:30. Whatevs. I didn't blow my heart rate out going up the hill. That's what's important. I walked, and there's only 8 kilometers to go. Okay, no dancing. Nope, I almost made it. Good. 7 kilometers, 8:29, and I am okay with that because I have not stopped running once. 8 kilometers, 8:22. Heart rate still 150. Starting to rise, but it's all uphill on the way home, so we're still going to get good. Still doing good. I'm starting to feel proud of myself. It's starting to build, but I gotta not go crazy. It's so funny how you run along and everything's perfect, and you get to 9, and everything's perfect, and 9.5, and everything's perfect, and then 9.83, my body's like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna get to 12. I got to 10 and I missed my 10 because there was a really cute fluffy dog and I got distracted. But I think it was probably around an 8:02-ish. I think. Ah! I fall down the hole. Yeah, I think around an 8:02. It was a really big fluffy dog, so I cannot be to blame. 11 kilometers, 8:23. My legs weigh a ton. 500 meters left, feeling pretty heavy. But we're almost done. I'm really, really proud of myself. Like, really proud. 12 kilometers, not even a stop. No walks, no stop, just plod, plod, plod. Awesome sauce.
This is the run that solidified my answer as to whether or not I am ready for this 5K training plan. My first 6 kilometers averaged about 8:06 per kilometer and an average heart rate of 148 beats per minute. My second 6 averaged 8:16 per kilometer at 154 beats per minute. So there was some cardiovascular drift, which really isn't surprising or concerning after 90 minutes of jogging in the heat. But here's the part that did surprise me. My final 3 kilometers averaged about 8:06 per kilometer. After 75 minutes worth of work, I still had my opening pace available to me within about 5 beats per minute of the heart rate that I started this run at. And also, somewhere in that 12K, I ran my fastest 10K of 2026. So this wasn't just me surviving a longer run. I managed to hold it together better and perform better than I did when I only ran 10 kilometers in week 7. So am I ready for the 5K training plan that I couldn't handle 7 weeks ago? I'd say I'm more ready than I was. The base training has given me noticeably more durability, but Friday's run taught me that just because I have the fitness to handle a hard run doesn't mean I can just schedule it whenever and wherever I want. So maybe the next experiment for this channel isn't whether or not I can survive 6 weeks of this plan. It's figuring out what needs to be done to be able to absorb it well enough that I can continue getting stronger each week for the next 6 weeks until race day.